History, as we're taught in classrooms, is a curated performance. The version handed down through textbooks is polished, simplified, and designed to reassure that evil was defeated, order was restored, and the world moved on. But underneath declassified documents and whispered accounts, another history runs in parallel, darker, stranger, and hard to accept. Two of the most infamous threads in this hidden history are Project Paperclip and the enduring rumors of Hitler's escape to South America. Project Paperclip is not conspiracy theory, it's documented fact. After World War II, the United States launched a covert program to recruit German scientists, engineers, and technicians, many of them team members of the Nazi Party, some of them directly complicit in war crimes. Their expertise in rocketry, aeronautics, and chemical weapons was seen as too valuable to waste, especially with the Soviet Union already courting the same talent. So Operation Overcast, later renamed Paperclip, brought over 1,600 German scientists into the US. Among them was Werner von Braun, who became a central architect of NASA's rocket program, the same man who had overseen the V-2 rocket program in Germany, which used forced labor from concentration camps, was repurposed as the face of American space exploration. Others specialized in aviation medicine, chemical weapons, and advanced physics. The US sanitized their records, downplayed their Nazi ties, and sold them to the public as brilliant minds who helped America win the space race. The moral compromise is staggering. In the name of Cold War advantage, justice was deferred. The Nuremberg trials condemned some Nazis, while others were flown into cushy American labs. We were told the war was about stopping fascism, but behind the curtain, our government was bartering with it, repackaging its scientists for our own empire building. Then there's Hitler. The official story says he shot himself in the Führer bunker in April 1945, his body burned, his regime collapsing. But rumors of his escape spread almost immediately, fueled by missing evidence, contradictory witness statements, and the geopolitical convenience of closing the case quickly. The Soviets claimed to have recovered fragments of his skull, but decades later, forensic tests suggested those bones belonged to a woman under 40. That's where South America enters the story. Argentina and Venezuela became havens for Nazi fugitives, with verified examples like Adolf Eichmann, captured in Argentina in 1960, and others who lived for years in South America under false names. The escape routes, known as ratlines, were supported by sympathetic clergy, corrupt officials, and remnants of Nazi networks. If high-ranking officers could slip through, it is not so far-fetched to think Hitler might have too. Declassified FBI files even contain tips and sightings of Hitler in South America well into the 1950s. Most mainstream historians dismiss these as conspiracy theories or Cold War paranoia, but the fact remains. The world's most wanted man vanished into a haze of conflicting reports, questionable evidence, and government silence. And when we know how willingly the US and other powers protect Nazis for their usefulness, it becomes harder to dismiss the possibility outright. Whether Hitler died in the bunker or fled to Venezuela, the core truth is this: evil wasn't defeated, it was absorbed. Through Project Paperclip, the ideology of domination was repackaged as science. Through the ratlines, Nazi officers were repurposed as assets, informants, or ghosts hidden in new identities. The illusion was that justice had been served and history was clean. The reality is that fragments of the Third Reich were woven into the DNA of the post-war order. This isn't just history, it's a mirror. Every time we're told that wars end cleanly, that bad guys are punished, that the story is simple, we should remember Paperclip. We should remember the skull fragments that didn't match, that governments are not in the business of truth, but of narratives. The front-facing story is victory, the backroom deal is absorption. Project Paperclip and the rumors of Hitler's escape are two sides of the same coin. Paperclip shows us what was officially absorbed, the Nazi brain trust. Hitler in Venezuela shows us what might have slipped away, the spirit of evil refusing to die, dispersing into shadows. Together they reveal a haunting lesson. Illusions aren't just personal, they're political. Nations wear eminence fronts, just like individuals do, projecting order while hiding compromise. Nazi science was a blend of cutting-edge tech, ruthless experimentation, and mythic delusion. Some of it became the backbone of post war aerospace and rocketry, while much of it left a stain of inhumane cruelty, showing what happens when knowledge is pursued without ethics. Because power never cares about morality, it only cares about survival. And when the war was over, the same men who had shouted slogans of justice were staring across the ocean at another empire rising, and they knew whoever got the best minds, the most advanced rockets, the darkest secrets would control the next century. So they bent their rules, they erased documents, they gave new names to men who should have been on trial, and they justified it all in the language of national security, because empires will forgive anything if it keeps the machine running. And the very scientists who had built death camps into their blueprints were suddenly invited to build space programs, not because they had reformed, but because their knowledge was leverage. Because in the Cold War, the line between ally and enemy blurred into usefulness, and usefulness is the real currency of states. So when rumors spread that Hitler himself had fled, that he'd slipped through the cracks and into South America, there were those who looked the other way because capturing him alive might unravel the illusion that the story was finished. Because if he survived, then the whole victory myth cracked open, and what superpower wants its people to know the fight never ended? The war machine had simply changed labels. So it was easier to let the whispers swirl, dismiss the sightings as hysteria, while at the same time drawing on the networks that smuggled Nazis across oceans. Because those were useful too. Maybe Hitler died in that bunker. Maybe he didn't. But the larger truth is undeniable. The world we live in today was shaped by Nazi science, Nazi ideology repurposed, and Nazi ghosts slipping the new roles. The war didn't end in 1945, it just changed uniforms. Humanfluence, out.